All right, cool. Recording in progress.
Excellent. Got it. Okay, so getting back to where we left off. So the most severe trial, so many things happen in life. This is the one that I can remember most. It was basically right after I got married. I was working for a company here in Sunnyvale, and the one of the things the company had promised all their employees that no one will be laid off from this company. The company was doing well, and they promised that to everybody. And finally, they hit a downturn like everybody else. And at that time, they decided they're going to have the first layoff, basically called it reduction in force. And they said they're going to divide all their employees into three categories: top 5%, middle 90%, and bottom 5%. He said anybody who's going to get laid off will be the bottom 5%. So I got my review. I was in top 5%. I talked to my boss. I said, hey, I bought a new house, new wife, and didn't buy the wife, but new house. And so I have a house payment and also a child on the way. I don't know, my daughter was born. And so it's going to be really hard, tough for me if this happened. He came to me, he said, hey, you're a star performer. Nothing's going to happen. Nobody's going to get laid off from our department. And when the time came, I was laid off. And including my boss, he was laid off too. I did not know what to do. So basically this hit me pretty hard. So what I did is, and I just didn't know, how to pay my bills and all that. And I basically at that point, I talked to my friends, and this basically I'm going to number two here. How did I broke through this thing? So I used to get up every morning, same time when I go to work, get ready, put my suit and tie on, and go to his office and act like that I'm going to a job. So he lent me a desk and a phone where I basically make my phone calls. And I kept doing this every day. But every day when I'm driving, I'm looking around all those people, and I have this little thought in my mind. I see, look, everybody else is going somewhere, and I'm not going anywhere, even though I'm just going to an office. And after about 60 days, I did get a job back. Not job back, actually. I got offers from other companies. I end up working. Everything turned out to be okay. So what I learned is because this company that I worked for, I originally worked for this company. And then after, I think, a year or two, I left that company. I got an offer from Headhunter, called me. And they said, we got another company that is interested. And they gave me like a 30% raise and gave me an offer. So I took that offer. I told my boss, I said, hey, I got this offer from this company and I am going to leave. So he looked at my offer and he said, I'll talk to you in a few minutes. So he goes back, talk to his boss, and comes back to my office. And he said, hey, everything is done. Your raise is matched. Everything's done. You don't need to do anything. Just go to work. I said, okay. So I picked up the phone and I called the new boss to be. His name was Victor. I said, Victor, hey, they matched the offer. I'm staying here. I'm not leaving. So he said, okay, I'll call you back. So he called me back, and 15 minutes later, he said, if you join us now, we'll give you bonus, which is 2 months salary upfront. So now I kind of, become a little bit, I said, okay, money's good. So why not? So this time I told my boss, yeah, I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm just going to leave. But this department that I work for, we were like a family. It was a new engineering job I started. My boss used to fly airplanes. He's a good experienced pilot. And another engineer was a senior engineer. He was also have some experience, but not as much as a boss. So I looked at those guys and said, hey, I'm going to learn to fly too. So I start flying in the morning. They told me basically, hey, we don't care what time you come to work. Just let us know when you're going to be here. You fly in the morning, that's okay. So I had a lot of fun. So when I left this company, I had guilty feeling. I said, these guys treated me so well, even matched my raises. Why did I leave? So 2 years later, I'm another company. So I picked up the phone, called my boss back. I say, I'm looking for a job now. He said, I have a position open. You want to come start Monday? I said, no, I can't start Monday. I need a couple of weeks notice for these people. So I went back. So I had a full loyalty in my heart when I started working for the company. And at the end, I got laid off. So what I took out of this is that my experience, I believe that the companies really, they use employees as tools. It is a tool to complete a task. And when the time comes, when they don't really go think about individuals, how they're going to handle it. They just come and it's a number. When I was laid off, my boss's boss, who used to work He never worked with me. He was running an operation offshore. So he came to me, and actually he didn't come to me. My boss told me, say, no one asked me, no one asked my opinion. And it was before he knew that he was going to get laid off. And he said, my boss wants to talk to you. I went to his office. Hey, let me know, guys, if I talk too fast. Yeah. So I went to his office. He said, sit down. So I sat down. He said, hey, the company is going through layoffs and a lot of people are affected. And so are you. Just short, sweet conversation. He gave me a couple of papers. I left his, his office. I say, from now on, I'm not going to depend on any one company ever in my life. So I need to have a multiple resources of income or livelihood where I can provide myself. So I did a few things after that. I achieved that, by the way. So that's what happened. That's what I brought back. And emotionally, it taught me a lot of things. One is basically stay calm. Panic was not an option. I could not get panic, and because I needed to support my wife, gave them emotional support instead of being a burden on them. So I had to, even if I went home, I had to put a face on. So, and the different ways I dealt with it. One of the things that I feel was very helpful, and it still is go out to gym and work out. Really sweat, really, and it really at least takes the tension away for some amount of time. So that's what happened. That's I came to. I had 3 offers at the end, and I enjoyed it. I worked for a few more companies, then I started my own company. So that's where I stand right now. You guys have any question on this?
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I totally resonate with the gym comment. I like, especially when I have like whatever, cloudy moments, or I feel like I can't focus, or I'm overstressed or anxious, especially about work stuff. Going to the gym is always like a good refresher, even if I'm like trying to think about a problem more, removing myself from my setting and doing the body movement really helps for getting the juices flowing. Question for you. I thought about at the very beginning because I'm going through a similar thing. When you first got that layoff, especially maybe the shock of like you felt like you were good, and then all of a sudden, turns out it wasn't so good, or so to say. What was your thought process in thinking of like life next steps? I know it sounds like you very much went into like, what do I do tactically to my job? Was there any moment in you where you thought like, maybe I change what I do altogether, maybe I take some time off, maybe go travel? Like, did you have any self-discovery type of moments?
Well, I tell you one, because most of the time this is what happens. I was basically living paycheck to paycheck.
Okay.
So options go out and travel was not there.
Yeah.
Okay. And the changing career, because I was an engineer, that's what I trained for. So that's what I wanted to do. And also semiconductor was very popular at that time. And I knew people in the Valley. I knew eventually I'll get the job. The only thing happened is the job offers I was getting earlier was out of the state. And I just bought the house. I'm in California. I said, okay, I'm not going to leave. But the thing that you have all kind of thoughts that go through your mind, at that point. And you also think, hey, maybe maybe I am in the wrong profession. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen. So it's basically, it's hard for me to tell because it's been so long when it happened. But it just several thoughts came, but I try to concentrate. If anything, the way I do it, if anything bothers me too much, I try to stop thinking about it, because that's the only way to think something else.
Yeah.
And also, getting back to the gym, I used to work for this company, and we had a creek behind us, not too far, the little pathway. So every time lunchtime, about 11 o'clock, I'll just stop. I'll get in my gym clothes and run about 3 miles, 4 miles, I run and come back. And by, maybe 1 o'clock, I'm ready again to go to work. I felt that I'm restarting my day. Every single time after the workout, I felt like I'm restarting the day. And also, if we had a minor engineering problem, which are happening with the test floor or some other thing, I resolve a lot of issues while I'm running. I couldn't believe that the ideas will come to me because I'm out there not fighting the fires. And just my subconscious mind is working on it. So maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try this.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my story.
No, that's great. Thank you. I don't know if anyone else has any questions, but I was going to say, I didn't want to cut you off, Bo, because you were already pretty good into your story. But I was going to say, before anyone else shares, really quick, if we want to fill out the group norms and guidelines, just so we have that locked in, and then we'll jump back to everyone can answer one of the questions, or share just like Bo did. then we can wrap up. Is that okay? Does everyone sound okay with that?
Well, you gonna do that, right?
Yeah, I'll share the screen. I'll share my screen right now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Basically, we need to come up with the remainder of the order for everyone to facilitate and be the main person and do the recording and stuff like that, and the after summary, which I think is the biggest piece of work for
Right, yeah.
the facilitator. Although I don't think it's hard, but that'll be that.
It seems, yeah, I've been through this stuff. Seems pretty simple, actually, but
Okay.
nevertheless, we should complete it. We don't have too much time.
Yeah, let's do that. And so everyone, if you have a calendar ready or at least an idea, maybe we can lock in the next, 4 sessions, whatever that is, 4 or 5 sessions, or it's 4 after this.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent. I have it printed it out for me. I have it here. I only think I have. There. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm basically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are the open days for me.
Okay.
Anytime, pretty much.
Yeah, before we get to the times, do we want to do an order really quick? So I'll be the facilitator for today. Does anyone want to be a facilitator for next week?
Sure, I can be a facilitator.
Okay, cool. So Sam, you run next week.
I can do the 23rd, the week of the 23rd.
All right, then Kyle,
Yeah, I can go. I can be after Kyle.
Ryan. and
Okay,
then-
I can go. The last was mine then.
Cool. And then Bo, you wrap us up. Great. Today we're meeting Sunday. For this next week, my only problem. My brother's getting married, so I'll be in Tahoe. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday. We'll have the wedding. I'll be
Really? We're in Tahoe.
Palisades. Is where
Oh,
they're-
really? Okay, I'm in North Lake Tahoe right now.
Oh, nice. Cool. We'll be right there.
Nice.
Yeah, so excited to do that. I live in Sac, so it's not a far trip for me anyways. But yeah, so Monday or Tuesday are ideal for me. I'd rather not do it Wednesday, just because it's like last minute getting all my family stuff together before we leave. But I don't know, can the group do Monday, Tuesday, even at night? It's probably best.
The Tuesday is bad for me because
Okay.
I'm busy on the actually most of the day.
Okay.
Wednesday, well, if Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday is anytime I'm open. Anytime you guys would like to have.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys? Any Monday or Wednesday? Like I said, I can make Wednesday if need be.
Or Thursday.
Monday or Wednesday works good for me. I just so I commute from San Jose to Livermore, so I don't leave Livermore until close to 4 o'clock. So I'm usually not home until about 5:30.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good any of the day as long as it's like after 5:30 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, same here. As long as it's in the evening, that works for me.
Can we do tomorrow at 8 p.m.? Is that too much to ask, or?
That
No,
works.
it'll work for me.
Yeah, it's after my son's bedtime. I know it's back-to-back days, but we can knock it out and have basically the rest of the week to chill out.
I think teacher wanted us to do our assignment first before we have this. I have completed mine, but I don't know if everybody else has done that too. They were talking about that because they said we're gonna basically talk about it, what we have learned from our field book.
Let's see. In group 3 this week, after completing the values exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we're gonna give ourselves a day or so. I turned in mine thing. I sent it yesterday, but
Yeah, I'll
If I-
probably do it today or tomorrow or something. So maybe Wednesday is a better night. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Would that work?
it'll work for me.
No,
Yeah,
that
it's fine.
Yeah, I can make that work.
All right, cool. So we'll do.
Who lives in San Jose?
I do, Brian.
Oh, yeah, I used to live there. I moved to Morgan Hill now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What's the date that day? Calendar. Let's see. That's the 12th. Okay.
Where in San Jose did you used to live?
San Evergreen area.
Oh, okay.
All right. The week after that. The week of the
Let's
16th,
see,
any
that
bad
week.
days?
The only thing I have is so the 22nd and 23rd, I'll be in Houston for a wedding.
So yeah, ideally earlier in the week.
Yeah.
I mean,
But the same day, like anytime during the week, if it's at night or I'm I'm on 410, so I'm off every Friday. So Fridays work well for me.
Friday, or I mean, my vote would be Thursday. If that connects with anybody, or
That's fine.
Bo, is there any
Yeah.
day? Like, I like the 8 p.m. meet time if that works for everybody. So it's after work and it gives everyone a chance to settle and get ready.
Yeah, 8 p.m. is fine any day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'll work with it, yeah.
Can we do Thursday?
I'm good.
Thursday the 20th?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got my family moving back in. Okay, we'll say Thursday. And these can always really just be tentative. Like, if anyone has to change, just do what I did and just say, hey, buddy. That's working, buddy. Okay. And then the following week, any concerns, or if not, I was gonna say maybe keep it as, hold on one second.
It can be Thursday again. I don't care.
Yeah, want to keep it for Thursdays for now, and
Yeah,
then
Thursday's fine.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
works.
that's good.
all right, we'll do Thursdays. If for any reason, we can always reschedule. You just make adjustments on the fly. 8 2 8:26 7:26 19. Cool. And so for this week, I have to submit, I think, a copy of this. At the bottom of the page, it asks for everyone to sign and put their name. I can sign everyone with like.
How are we gonna sign it?
I was gonna write a digital signature for everyone, so
Okay, good, excellent.
unless anyone's not okay with that, I'd be happy to like download it, send it to you, and you can sign it yourself. But I'm literally,
I'm good with it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
I think I'm all right with it.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Get it done, yeah.
Great. Okay. I'll do that. We'll be done. Step 1 done. And then we can go back to the scheduled programming. Hold on real quick.
Who's gonna do this week's report?
I'll type up this first one as the facilitator for it.
Okay.
Cool. One sec.
Just so you know, I have to leave at 11.
Okay. Do you want to go next then real quick? I think we basically did the main part of this, which was the group facilitator stuff. Let's figure out everything. Let's see.
Yeah, I can go next.
Yeah, and then answer if you want to talk about one of these questions. Any of the 5 that are in the slot there.
Yeah, I'll do the most severe trial. The first 10 years of after high school, I worked for a biologist. I was essentially on track to be a fisheries biologist working for NOAA in the state of Alaska. And probably the most severe trial I had was I was a laboratory technician working for NOAA, and the director really loved me. We were best buds, and he pulled a lot of strings to get me on this boat in the Bering Sea to do ocean studies over the summer. And it was a great opportunity to do scientific research at such a young age. But it turns out I got offered this job at Fish and Game in Alaska that paid astronomically more. And I had a really awkward conversation with the director. Here I am, like 18-year-old kid talking to a PhD director of NOAA, saying like, thanks for all the help, but I gotta go. And that was really rough, especially as such a young kid at the age. And we definitely parted on bad terms, but I think we're better now. But that was a very hard learning experience for me, is how to professionally break ties but still be in good standing. That was probably my biggest trial as a growing up.
You feel like you're better now?
Yeah, I'm better now. There's another point. I worked for Fish and Game for another 7 years, and it was an amazing job. But it turns out I had to switch careers after that because I ended up getting stranded in the middle of Alaska with no support from my boss. And my wife said I needed to change jobs. So I ended up joining the Air Force, and now I work on radar systems.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
What type of radar is it? Ground, or do you work on planes?
I work on ground. I work on the Tipsy 75.
Cool.
So yeah, that's just my trials, is just how to give bad news to your boss and still have good standing.
That really is a skill. That's something I suck at, to be honest, even to this day, after lots of trying to be good at it. Whether it's like firing people or just letting people down or feeling like you're letting people down, delivering bad news is a skill. So yeah, I feel you there.
Yeah, it's definitely hard, especially if you like the person, or you feel bad about hurting that person, but there's you still got to take care of yourself at the same time.
Yeah, 100%.
I had one of the engineers working for me. He did, few years, and then he had to resign, go to my company was not doing so well, and he needed to leave. And I understood. And he came back. He told me, he said, the hardest part for me is to tell you that I'm leaving. And I said, oh, I understand that, but it can be hard because you do build a relationship when you're working together.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I manage people, that's really like my main thing, is like we're all just people anyways, working at a job. Whatever your motivation is for the job, at the end of the day, we're still just like humans. So like
Yeah.
all these feelings or challenges or things that we're scared of or good at, like it's all real stuff. We all have lives and families and things like that. So cool. Any volunteers to go next? Answer one of the questions from the prompt, or share a trial or a breakthrough, or reflect on a life story or event.
Yeah, I'll go next. So one of my most severe trials is probably right as I moved down to ASU, because I go mostly in person. So I obviously had to quit my job back home, moved down there, had to pay a couple months rent before I had a job. And then I got a job at the airport, and it was just really low paying, really sketchy hours, like probably 15, 20 hours a week. So it really wasn't paying the bills. I was there for a couple months, and then I got laid off. So after not making that much money, it was really hard to support myself while I was trying to find a new job. So I heard from a buddy of mine, because I'm in aviation, that's probably what I'm going to be doing. He's just like, yeah, you got to do this course so you can maybe get the in at Boeing. So I went through this course. It was like 3 weeks, so I had to support myself for another 3 weeks with pretty much no capital. And then I just had to wait and hear from Boeing and do some side gigs, like DoorDash or something like that. And then eventually I got an email to be a contractor there. So I'd say my most severe trial is just working through that period of having no money and pretty much nothing lined up, to where you just find yourself like dead in the water. Like, what do you do from there? So I ended up getting hired at Boeing. And yeah, that's how the story goes. I would say that this trial kind of did hold me back, but eventually was able to break through. By kind of having a buddy help me through it, show me where to go. That really helped me out a lot.
I'm interested because I have my brother-in-law who just finished school not too long ago, but is like struggling to find anything. You answered part of it at the very end, like a buddy helping you through it. How do you feel like you're able to like hang on and like push yourself through it? And like get really paid off. Hey, no problem, Kyle. We'll record this. I'll send you the page before we submit it.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Yeah, it definitely took a lot of perseverance, but just knowing to yourself that this is a temporary situation. As long as keep your head down, keep trying, just keep putting yourself out there, and really going for what you strive for, I think, is the biggest thing there.
One thing is, I'm a lot older than you guys, and it is, you gotta keep a very positive attitude. You just can't, basically let this thing sweep you away. You need to be concentrate, have a conscious effort to do. Say, hey, I'm going to try that. That's it. It always, the most people I know, when one door closes, always you end up at a better place. But now, I have not seen anybody with worse, unless you basically get to a point that you have a breakdown that you can't recover from, but you end up at a better place. And there's a lot more opportunities exist because if nothing else, you at least have this new experience under your belt that can be used for something else.
Yep.
Totally agree. Cool. Brian, you want to go?
Yeah. So yeah, I guess my biggest trial, I was, man, I don't even remember how many years ago now. My first go around at going to college. I was at San Jose State. I was an engineering major. It was my third year, and for 2 years I've been working on. I don't know if anyone knows what the Formula SAE program is, but we build Formula race cars and we race against teams all over the world.
Sick.
And so I got involved in that and loved it. And I spent all hours of the day in the race shop working on the race car, forgot about everything else. And one day I go to my counseling appointment for classes, and long story short, they basically said, you failed all your classes, you're done, you're out. So I got kicked out of San Jose State, and so then I had to go back home, talk, break the news to my parents and all that. It was super hard. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was really down for a long time. I was like, man, I'm screwed. And but my time on the Formula team, I was working on their composites manufacturing. So I worked on all the carbon fiberglass work. I loved it. So I was trying to figure out how can I use that? Can I do something with that? And I started doing some stuff on the side. Some people had some odd projects. I did some fiberglass work, and then end up getting a job at some small startup. Kind of worked at that for a little bit. Really hated the startup. It was way too. It was like 4 of us. It was a lot of work, and eventually ended up working in defense for a little bit, and then I finally got a chance to move on and ended up where I am now. I run a composites materials R&D lab out in Livermore, and I love it. And the crazy thing is, I think if I had not gotten kicked out of school, I may not have had the time or the drive to find what I liked and pursue that hard to be able to make it to where I am today.
Very good.
So that was my, I think, one of the biggest things that's happened.
I mean, an obvious question. What was your parents' reaction, and do you think they feel the same, roughly, of the way you look back on it? Right.
The initial
Ultimately,
reaction
it sucked, but it worked out. Do you think?
Yeah,
they
the
same?
initial reaction was not good. It was, but no, actually, I just had this conversation. Oddly enough, we had talked about it over the 4th of July holiday. We're discussing it, and in the long run, we all kind of feel like it worked out for the best. And now I'm back in school because I was able to work at with my current job to try and open up some more doors there. And now I have 2 kids of my own now, so I'm trying to also be a good example. So trying to go back and finish that all up.
Cool. Any other follow-up questions? No, I'll go.
No.
Great. I'll wrap it up. I I guess quick intro about myself. I'm 35. I live in Sacramento. I'm going back to school for similar reasons. My son's only 2, but although I've gotten to a lot of places where I want to be in life, I still see the value in this sort of life achievement. And so I definitely wanted to go back and go to school. My trial right now, I don't know if it's my biggest or not, but it's definitely top of mind for me because I'm going through it right now. I had spent the last 2 years working at Facebook, but I was included in the last round of layoffs that just happened last month, which is, sucks. It's always sucking to be laid off. But like you said, it's always scary. And as well as you think you're doing, it's never guaranteed or promised. And, I went from being like, this is awesome, I'm probably going to be okay, to like, oh, shit. I got included in that. So, either way, I'm still a generally optimistic person. Either finding the silver linings of things or just feeling good about being able to bounce back and recover quickly, which has been true. I'm embracing spending time with my son now. But now as I look for new opportunities, it's kind of been all over the place, and it's really forced me to look inward and think about what do I actually want to do with the next 15 years of my life. And maybe 15 years is even too long to think about it, but I have certain jobs that are like Facebook and very much more corporate, and I can go back that way. Or there's some jobs at some startups that are interesting, but they would involve more work, a different level of commitment, time, effort, even personal career challenges. Like, in some sense, it's like I've done it before, so would I want to do it again? And then there's like very unique ones that feel like a little bit of a left turn. They're not necessarily outside of tech, but it's doing roles and stuff that I haven't done before. So it's not that normal 9 to 5. It's not something I've necessarily done before. It's a little bit of a personal pivot. So there's a lot of me thinking about what's best for me and what I want to accomplish. I had a conversation with my wife about it, and I very much care how it'll impact and affect my family, especially with the 2-year-old son. And so I know that I'll work my ass off, and I still want to be present as a father and as a husband and everything too, and not have to sacrifice. At the same time, I still want to grow and challenge myself. I very much am like, I'm only 35 and I can really do anything I want now, more than ever. So cool. Should I just go for it? Should I try bigger, better things? Should I challenge myself, see how far I can go? And is that the next thing that will give me some, meaning is too dramatic, but like, yeah, some meaning or passion to life, something to look forward to or be happy about. I've been reading Rick Rubin's new book, and he's very much about like, just embrace it, be creative and push yourself to not be too critical or self-critical, and just enjoy these moments, try to be present, all of that kind of stuff. And so there's a lot of that that's resonating with me now, of just like, even in this shitty moment of being laid off, embrace it. There's so many good things about it. As I think about my next steps, it's like, be open to ideas and don't be so critical about what I think I can and can't do. And yeah, I hope that regardless, I know this is a pretty heavy duty trial, but like, everything's gonna be okay. I feel good about it still. And yeah, it's a little bit of me.
Michael, the best thing that's going for you right now is the attitude. It's very positive. You maintain that. That's what you need to keep. You will find something better, definitely. Just a matter of time, because it forces you to basically explore yourself. So what else I can do? That's what you're doing right now. You're gonna find something better, something you like. I tell you that I made more money when I didn't chase the money. Every time I tried to make money, it ran away from me. So it's just, you find something that you love to do, everything else will follow.
Yeah, it's interesting. And part of when you told your story resonated, because my first reaction after getting the news was like, how do I instantly fix this and find a new job? Ideally, it's the exact same thing, replace the paycheck with a paycheck that's the same thing, and just like tactical mode.
Yeah.
But then as it's sort of worn off and gotten farther away from the announcement or the day, I'm sort of like, okay, what do I want to do?
Yeah. No, this is, I got so tired working for other people. And I said, I'm not going to work for him. I used to work for another company, and when I left their company, I left Wednesday and started my own company on Thursday.
Wow.
And the people who were working for me at that company started to work for me after hours. And that's how I built up. My first customer was my own company, the previous company. But during that time, because I'm still starting up, the president of the company called me. He said, "Hey, can you help me out? I need some stuff done." So he started another company. I went over there, and they had my cards already made up, some called personalization engineering manager. They used to make a smart cards, right? And he said, "Hey, we got people coming in from Texas Instruments, and we need you to sit in the meeting and see if we can get things going. And then if you want, you will start working for us." And I did that thing 3 days for him. And those 3 days were the worst for me. He paid me good money, everything else. I said, no, I do not want to go back and work for anybody. So that's what came out for me out of that. So it's always positive. It just allows you to explore. So sometimes things are a little tough in the beginning, but eventually, I think on the long run, you do real well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I think that's how I'm starting to feel, that even through just like challenging myself to look inward, it gives me more confidence to do so. Cool.
But also being home with the family too is nice. Is you get
Yeah.
that understanding that work-life balance, and understand that like how important that is. And that's great.
Absolutely. There's been so many times where I'm like, I can hear my son in the background or something like that.
Mhm.
I'm like, close the laptop, let's go. Even if it's for like 15 minutes, just like, okay, I'm gonna disconnect and I have my support system right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I was thinking I've been taking notes this whole time. I also have been running this like note taker in the background. The facilitator report is basically like a summary of what we did, right? So we agreed
Right, yeah.
on our sessions. And then I was thinking to do this, and I'd work on it basically right now after this call, is write a first draft and share it with the group and get everyone's okay on it. And then submit it. Is that okay? Or
I'm good with that. I dedicated this day to basically doing this, get it done today. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't look
Yeah,
too.
that
I'm
sounds
looking
good.
at
No,
the
it's not.
examples.
Yes, pretty, but yeah, everybody had a little input, and that's it.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. Like I said, I'll write up the summary. Looks super easy. Double spaced page 1, whatever. Half of the summary is like the tactical stuff we talked about. The other, I will talk about what everyone said, and there's a couple of threads in there that are common. So I'll write a little summary. I'll share that. I'll share the PDF of the signed facilitator sheet, and then once I get the okay from everyone, I'll submit it today.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Sure.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you guys.
Yeah, nice meeting you all as
Yeah.
well. Appreciate it, and
Yeah, nice
appreciate
meeting
you
you guys.
helping with the
Yeah.
scheduling this week.
No worries.
Cool. All right, I'll
Have-
talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
All right. See you.
Bye.